In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome everybody to another episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. I'm your host, David So, and we got that reoccurring guest, Cristino Sosa.
What up? What up? What up?
So you got a podcast too now?
I do have a podcast.
This motherfucker trying to creep on my shit.
I do have a podcast, man.
What's it called?
Keeping it trill.
Oh, see, of course.
H-Town, you know what I'm saying? I'm an H-Town native, so it's keeping it trill. I have another co-host, my cousin Bati Duran, and yeah. And we actually we've only had like a few guests. We're still like in the process of like figuring things out.
Yeah.
I mean, we're like 38 episodes in, but
damn, you 38 episodes in?
Yeah.
How come you never plugged that shit when you were here before?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. How I'm still new to this shit.
Yeah,
like I'm still new to like plugging my podcast or bringing guests on.
Yeah,
and like trying to collab and stuff. So yeah, still trying to figure it out.
I don't know. Like in the podcast space, it's weird because one of the things that I didn't want to predicate this podcast on was having crazy big guests. And I think people want to see those guests because I just wanted the podcast to be about regular conversation, right?
Yeah.
And the reason why is because I feel like...
And I know where I'm at in my career. So.
You know what I mean? I just had to bring Cristino on. I was like, I don't want anybody that important here. So I thought, Cristino's really good.
I mean, you call me about my government. That's what's telling me how I'm not as relevant.
Well, I like calling you Cristino because it reminds me of a cookie. That's why. So, hey, man, you going to put some fucking cheese on that Cristino?
Can I get a Cristino, please? I've never heard that before. That's new.
That's what it sounds like to me.
A cookie.
Yeah, let me get a little Cristino right there, man. Just break me off a piece.
Macadamia nut.
But yeah, when we started this podcast, or when I started this podcast, just because I felt that the success of a podcast was highly based on the guest and not the stories. And sometimes when these celebrities come on, they don't really have much to say. Aside from the fact that I think their clout kind of drives traffic to something. But I just didn't want it to be highly based on that. And I feel like a lot of people have great stories. Like I have a guest coming on tomorrow. She's not really anybody famous at all, but her story is very unique. And I wanted to share her story because she hit me up through a message and she was talking about wanting to kill herself.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, shit. Well, first of all, the reason why that freaked me out is because I've never wanted to kill myself. I've never had those thoughts in my head.
Yeah.
I don't know what that feels like.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, what do you say? It's like this one time when my this is kind of funny, but my buddy, his father passed away, right? Hold on.
No. All right. Okay. You can't say this is kind of funny and then follow up with,
well, welcome to the podcast, bitches.
All right. Go ahead.
So anyways, his father killed himself. No, I'm kidding. That's not what happened. But his dad, his pops passed. Now this guy is just a very dramatic human being.
Okay.
Right? And this is what I'm used to him being dramatic.
Gotcha.
Now I kind of grew up around dudes when they went through stuff. Yeah, they would reach out, but they would kind of collect themselves first and then reach out so they can really articulate how they feel or what they're saying. Yeah. They wouldn't just start blubbering in front of you because, who really knows how to deal with that situation?
Right.
I'm not very good with those situations.
Yeah.
So, I guess when it happened, he hits me up and then he's like, yeah, I just want to kick it and be around friends. I'm like, cool, let's kick it. And there's two people. It was me and my other buddy. Now, my other buddy, he's a lot more sensitive than I am. He's very sweet. He comes up to him. He gives him that bro hug, hugs it out. I think he even gave him a kiss on his forehead, which I thought was really weird.
Oh, okay.
He's like, yeah, man, just, we good, bro. He just gave him a kiss on his forehead. It's like, yo, man, keep your head up.
Yeah.
And then we're just talking.
The kiss on your boy, on your homie, that's a different level of love.
See, there's two ways that could have gone, right?
Yeah.
That could have been on that's some really awkward shit. But I think if you're thug enough, that's like one of them, like, Birdman and Lil Wayne type of shit.
Yeah. Real talk. That's what I'm saying. Like, it has to be like the placement of the kiss.
Yeah.
Like, is it gonna be like kind of on the cheek? You know what I mean? Where you just press the cheeks, like, I love you, boy. You know what I'm saying? Is it on the lips, like on some like you said, Birdman and Lil Wayne?
Oh, was it on the lips?
They were on the lips, bro. He went to go accept an award and went up on the stage, and at the pedestal, they kiss. They get a little. Right.
What the fuck?
Yeah, bro.
For some reason, I never saw the video, so I just assumed that it was, on the cheek or some shit. Where I was like, that's a little sus. But at the same time, if that's how they roll,
and that was Bird saying like, "That's my son." That's my son. That was his thing. Like,
Yeah, even if it's your son's kind of old.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta cut that shit out eventually.
Yeah.
But some people will be like, yo, that's like that fucking toxic male masculinity shit. It's like, nah, man.
Yeah.
The fuck?
I kissed one of my homie.
Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out of my podcast! No, I'm kidding.
No, but yeah, it was like fucking on the cheek. You know what I'm saying?
I can see that
like,
though. Yeah, I don't. Find
I got you, boy. Like, I don't. Yeah, it's just showing love. You know,
it's one of those things. I think
he found out his girl was pregnant, and
shit.
he was 17, and we were like, bro, it's like I felt it with him. I was like, bro, what?
Then
like,
your life just go.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, so it was a crazy situation to where I was like there for him, and you know we've done like we've been homies from like since like 6th grade. We've claimed each other to be cousins because we low key like look like each other. So we've always grew up saying we're cousins, and we've always just treated each other like family like that. You know what I mean? So I didn't see it as like, hey man, I'm kissing you because like of affection. And I was just like just showing my true like I'm here. You know, I'm right here, bro. This is love.
That's dope. Because I think I just never grew up. Because I think it's so weird because I could picture myself having a son and giving him kisses all the time, right? Yeah. But I don't know. I can't see myself doing that to a guy friend. Like I could cry with the dude, hug the dude. Yeah. Something about kissing is so fucking intimate. And just to see like two rappers that talk about killing, gun and stuff, and they just mouth each other in front of the whole world. It's like, damn, that's some interesting shit. Yeah. Especially because I feel like in the hip hop world, there's a lot of like anti-homosexuality shit, right? Because they call people bitches, faggots, whatever, you know, and that's like such a prevalent insult. But to see those type of dudes kiss each other was like, that's interesting.
Yeah, and it was even during a time that where there wasn't any woke situation. Right. It was this was back in like early 2000s to where that was straight up like people were saying faggot at the time, and they were saying, oh, that's gay. Like, no homo wasn't even a thing at the time.
Oh, that's right. Huh?
You know what I'm saying? People weren't saying no homo until like, I don't know, like 2008, 2010.
Yo, a lot of fucking East Coast cats, they're like on that. I think they have that no homo shit, but they say pause a lot. They're like,
pause is the big one now.
So much. It's like on everything. It's pause.
Bro, yeah, and like to me, that's like, I don't even like that because when you say pause, you're putting into the realm of the conversation that there's something gay that was said. Yeah. You could have just said something without saying pause and we could have still kept talking.
Yeah, the conversation would have just kept going.
Yeah, I was at Subway the other day and I had the whole foot long pause. Like, no, you had a foot long at Subway.
That's what it's called. It's called a fucking foot long.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I like the ones with meatballs. Pause. No, they're fucking delicious.
It's fucking excessive. Sometimes it just won't even make sense. It's like, yo, pass me that pillow. Pause. I'm like, wait, what does that mean,
bro? Yeah. Do you actually want me to go? Like, or should I like play? Like, do I actually pause? Like, that's why I say I'll play. When people say pause, I'm like, no, I play.
Yeah, like I didn't get to really understand what that shit was, and then my friend was like, "It's like the fucking when you guys say no homo." I'm like, that's what that shit is." Pause. Yeah, I get it. It's a little excessive. I'm like, no pause. Man.
I don't like, especially if you're a grown ass man. You're in an interview, like, cause I remember who was it? I saw who's the guy that was beefing with Jay-Z? He's like a big producer. My mind just went blank.
Somebody beefing with Jay-Z besides Nas?
No. Yeah, right. But damn, Dame Dash.
Oh, Dame Dash. Yeah.
Bro, I saw the interview on Breakfast Club, and he's saying pause like so much, and I'm like, first of all, you hold yourself already as like I'm a man, and this is that's kind of you have that vibe in the industry of like I don't fuck around. Yeah. But you saying pause, that to me doesn't really show. Like you're really being a man. Like, no, say what you mean and you say, pause. Like, no, stop saying pause.
I didn't see that fucking. Yo, I just heard about the whole like Jay-Z. I heard Dame Dash is broke, bro. I heard like,
I have no idea of. I still don't know what that was. The Jay-Z beef. I don't know a lot of the hip hop beefs. I just know Tupac, Biggie. I know Drake and Meek. You know what I'm saying?
The Drake and Meek shit was fucking hilarious.
That was like fun. Yeah, that was like a fun beat.
I still can't believe Meek Mill didn't come at him hard because Meek Mill was a fucking battle rapper. That's where he was found. Yeah. That was his shit. Yeah. I wonder what that shit was about. That was so odd to me. I thought he was gonna fucking destroy this motherfucker. And then Pusha T came out and then ripped. That Pusha T shit was fucking hilarious to me.
When Pusha put that stuff, oh my God, when he went for 40 and he was just like, sick. I was like,
talking about his fucking multiple sclerosis. I was like, damn, bro.
Yeah, he was like, he's sick. I was like, you are petty, bro.
But the funny thing is, I think when people heard that, you know, because that type of like rap drama has been happening for many fucking years.
Yeah.
And I feel like when people hate each other on some shit like that, it's all good. You could say whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
But it was so weird when I kind of read a lot of comments where they're like, yo, he went too far. I like, what's too far? He doesn't like him. He could say whatever the fuck he wants. Because when it comes to somebody you dislike, why do you care about the other person's feelings or public perception? Because it's just, it's a fucking battle where they're going at each other and he's supposed to say something that's supposed to hurt the guy no matter what.
No, I strongly am behind the idea, if you're in the arts, there's no boundaries.
Yeah.
If you're in the arts, that's entertainment, that's rapping, that's music, that's comedy, especially comedy.
Yeah.
You have the freedom of speech. That's it. Period.
Especially when it comes to just fucking going at each other on diss tracks. Like, yo, come on. That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. That's how Pac opened up the song. That's pretty fucking bad.
Yeah.
And
that shit sounded hard too. I was like, oh, he wins.
That fool spoke that shit from his ball sack, dude. That shit was from his spirit.
Yeah.
So I was kind of used to stuff like that. So when people kind of came out and they said that it was a little too far, I'm like, nah, man. Like it's a diss track. When you're trying to diss somebody, you're supposed to go.
He's making it rhyme. It's actually very impressive.
The track and
he's
Pusha T
rhyming at the same time on a beat.
And Pusha T's not a new age rapper too. That motherfucker's a legend. So it's like, what did you expect was gonna happen, dude? Yeah. And it was so weird when I saw that.
That's what he does.
I fucking love that motherfucker. That's probably
you know it's gonna be some hard shit.
Yeah, I feel like I think that generation gap it's kind of more prevalent when I see stuff like that. I don't know if I feel that people, because sometimes people say like the younger generation is a little too sensitive, but I don't know. I feel like everybody had their generation thing where there was a group that was too sensitive, you know, and I think it's just like cyclical.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I think now because there's social media, it's like the cool thing to be offended of something.
Yeah.
Like to be like, oh, that's offensive.
Yeah.
So that, because what I realized that when people say, oh, that's offensive, and they go about making a post, they're making that post so that they can see that everybody's going along with them, so that they can feel like a leader of something. I just started this movement. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they're looking for their hashtag me too. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's what I feel like in this generation, because of social media. Are you really offended, or are you seeing something that could be offensive, and then you go about highlighting it and going, oh, this is offensive. Am I right, guys? Who's with me? Who's following me?
I for sure. I think it's like the cool kid thing to do. Right? Yeah. It's kind of like, I mean, how I would express it. I'm not sure if this is the exact analogy, but it's when that one white kid, right? Yeah. Says something that's very, I guess, introspective in black culture, right? And he'll be like, yeah, because white people, da 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 da, and then there'll be like a couple of black homies that are like, man, you know what's up with us? Yeah. I think that's the type of gas that they get with it, right? When it comes to them speaking about stuff that they may not really know about, but they know that they have like the support behind them, makes them feel very inclusive, right? Yeah. So I think that's what people like a lot. They like that thing where it's like, oh, I know what's up.
I'm woke.
Yeah, I'm woke. Yeah. I know what's up. Which I do appreciate people kind of bringing a lot of things to light. Like we were just talking about it earlier, where I think on this podcast and when I have conversations with a lot of my female friends, I shit you not, I say about a good 40% of them have been sexually assaulted once in their life, specifically when they were younger. And that kind of threw me off a little bit, because when we were younger, they didn't talk about it, and not like they would, because it's such a traumatic thing that happens to them. But I've been finding out more and more often that a lot of these girls, and because of this woke movement, they are being more open about it, and people are understanding. Because I never really understood completely what rape culture meant. Because when people talked about rape culture, how I processed it was, people are saying that men believe that raping is okay, which I don't believe. I think that you, me, 100% of the guys that I'm around understand that rape is a fucking terrible thing.
Yeah.
There isn't somebody in my group that says, rape is, well, what's the situation? There's a guy that goes like,
there's always a guy in the group where they're starting off going, hey, is this rape? So I was with this girl, right? And he's like, wait, how'd you start that? Hey, is this rape? Yeah, for sure. Because you also have like what Bill Burr said, and he said it so well. He was like, there's like you weren't saying no, stop. It was no, stop, we can't. Stop, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know? And it's a playful thing to where, like, I've had that to where, and the girl ends up like, oh my God, like you're so bad. And then we end up like messing around. But it's not, it's like, it's consensual. That's not a no, get off me, stop, get away from me. That's
as a guy too, if you don't know that damn difference, then you're a fucking rapist, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's rapport with that, right?
Yeah.
So there's like, you and this girl probably have known each other for a while, you're dating, you're flirting, things are going great.
Yeah.
And then she says the no stop type of thing.
Yeah.
Then that's a different type of no stop. But if you're a guy that has to wonder like, yo, did I fucking do something wrong? It's like, well, then you probably did.
Yeah.
You definitely probably did something bad, bro.
If she's very sad in the bed in a fetal position crying, you probably did something wrong.
Exactly. This podcast is brought to you by Skillshare. Yeah, we're talking about skill sharing. We're talking about lifelong learning. We're talking about hundreds and thousands of courses that can help you pursue the stuff that you want to pursue, whether it's a lifelong passion, whether it's a hobby, if it's something that you're just curious about. Skillshare probably has those courses for you. For me personally, I've been using on the photography side. I've been doing photography for quite a while now, but there's always something that I need to brush up on. And with photography, videography goes in hand, specifically when it comes to coloring. I know a lot of people, when they do their videos, they don't even know where to start or how to color, how to look at RGB scales, how to look at histograms, all this other stuff. And if you want to learn like fundamental basics, and you didn't want to learn that in a traditional sense where you have to go to like photography school or videography school or some kind of like proprietary program, Skillshare is going to be the spot for you, because I personally like learning at my own pace, and I want to learn when I want to learn it at the comfort of my home. It makes it easier for me to learn the subjects that I am interested in. Well, check this out, my friends. You can join the millions of students already learning on Skillshare today with a special offer just for my listeners. Get 2 months of Skillshare for free. That's right. Skillshare is offering GeniusBrain listeners 2 months of unlimited access to thousands of classes for free. To sign up, go to Skillshare.com/brain. Again, go to Skillshare.com/brain to start your 2 months now. That's Skillshare.com/brain. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think like as a guy, you don't really realize what a lot of these girls go through. And as an adult, and now that I'm getting older, and I think I'm a lot more empathetic than when I was younger. I think I am. It's kind of crazy how many of these girls I know that have been through a traumatic thing like that.
Yeah.
And they just never spoke up about it.
Yeah.
They never fucking did.
Yeah.
I had a couple of friends who told me it was, and you know what? Everybody that did get sexually assaulted, if I'm recollecting correctly, it was somebody that either that they knew really close, that was like a family fucking friend, or it was a fucking family member. Yeah. Which is fucking crazy.
And it's crazy because they don't even know that it was a traumatic thing
until later on.
Now that these things are coming up and people are understanding that this was a bad thing, that this is trauma, then they're like, oh wait, I got touched.
Yeah.
And it's probably it definitely affected me, like the way I was going. I just thought, if it was a family member, they thought we were just playing. This is a new game. You know what I mean? Like that was something like that's happened in my family, where it was like a game we were playing. You know?
They always try to switch you up with the game.
It's fun. Yeah.
It's like, hey kids, y'all ever play Yank-a-Dick? And all of a sudden they got this dude, you got the fucking crazy uncle with his dick out.
My God.
It's like, what you gonna do? You gonna pull on my dick, and then candy's gonna come out my mouth. It's like, what's that? You guys like whipped cream, right? It's inside my dick.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird ass uncles.
We're going to play a game where you lick whipped cream off anywhere. All right. Yeah. So start off with, they start elbow and they do, yeah, bro.
What's it called? Emmanuel from Dormtainment. He lightly touched on it, but he talked about the story where.
Good pun.
Lightly touched. Yeah. He lightly ball touched on the story where there was this dude in his neighborhood. He was like an older cat. He was like a neighborhood friend or an older friend or some shit like that. Yeah. And the family knew him and everything else like that. He would come over And I guess he said as a kid, this dude whipped out his fucking dick, and then Emmanuel knew that something was a little off, and he went to his mom, and and whatever however a child will call a dick, he goes, whatever, mom, like his pee-pee is out or whatever, but he never saw the dude again.
Yeah.
But he was hanging around little kids trying to play a game or some shit.
Wow.
And I don't know where that fucking perversion comes from. It's like, okay, well, how am I going to get these kids to somehow touch my dick?
Yeah.
It's like a little fucking an eyebrow over his dick hole, and then makes it look like a closed eye or some shit. It's like, look into the winking eye. Like, what the fuck do you think about, dude? It's such a weird concept. I mean, specifically for me, I think it's just weird for adults to, if I were to break it down into words, because I mean, sexuality is such a animal thing, right? Like animals want to reproduce, and you usually want to do that with someone that can reproduce. Yeah. Just from a scientific point of view. Right? Yeah. But what do you see in a child?
Right. That's the weird part.
You know what I mean? And children are fucking gross, by the way. They smell, they stink, they're fucking dumb as shit. Like, I don't understand what the fuck it is.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it has to do with vulnerability. Like, they know that because one, they're sick. Yeah, they're sick-minded, the adult, right? And they probably can't get it from any people their age or whatever, and it's like if a kid doesn't know, they just have no idea. The adult is able to satisfy whatever their want is to a kid that is like completely vulnerable, has no idea that this is wrong. It's like, oh, okay, we're gonna be naked.
That's what I'm saying. Like, being a parent, it's so. Like, you have to be cautious about fucking everything. Yeah. And it's weird that it happens the most with people that you know, which scares the fucking shit out of me. Now, if I have a kid, I'm just like, who the fuck trying to fuck my kid? Like, that's the thing that's going to pop in my head. Yeah. It would be really fucking funny, though. What if, like, you grow up and then you're hanging out with your friends and everybody's talking about this one dude in the neighborhood that sexually harassed everybody but you, and then you feel a certain way about it. You're like, hold on a second. How come I didn't get touched?
And then you have the moments of like, this is the fucked up part, is with boys, they're like, yo, you know that Miss Rose down the street is like showing her tits? Like, she just walks around with no tits. And then you're thinking, that's actually still, what is it? Like molestation or whatever. Like,
we talked about this on JK News, how weird it is that obviously, if a guy showed his dick to a young group of girls, it's fucking disgusting, right? It is. I mean, that's, to me, I'm just like, I'll fucking murder this dude. Right. But if it was like, let's put an age limit on it, right? So let's say, for example, you're a 13-year-old, let's say 14-year-old boy, and you're in high school, you're a freshman, right? Yeah. And there's this hot ass substitute teacher, and that substitute teacher showed you her titties. Yeah. I don't think the first thing that would come to a guy's mind, even as he gets older and he recollects that thought, was that he got sexually harassed.
That's what I meant, sexually harassed.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, I think as a young man, for some reason you think that shit was fucking tight.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, you still get sexually harassed, but it's like, was it traumatizing? Was it bad? Why isn't it looked at as bad? Why is it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
why is it for us that when that happens, maybe it's because of the imminent danger isn't there, right? Because, physically men can overpower younger women, right? Yeah. So maybe that's like the danger that's within it.
And titties can't fit in a butt.
Yeah, that's right. There you go. Titties can't fit in a butt. He makes t-shirts. We're putting that on a t-shirt. Titties can't fit in a butt. There's definitely something along with that, though. I'm telling you, like the penetration aspect of it, or even that, it's just, I feel like even though it's a 14-year-old boy, he might be able to overpower her physically. So that imminent danger isn't there because the boy doesn't feel like he's in danger if he doesn't participate in this, right? Because the only danger of a boy not participating in that would probably if he told that story and other kids made fun of him. Right, but I feel like for a girl, there's a physical danger to it as well. Yeah, right. That's the biggest fucking difference. Like if a girl, let's say the guy whipped out his fucking dick, right, and he tried to physically assault her, and she's physically weaker than him, then what is she going to do? Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's the stakes are higher.
The stakes are a lot higher for a girl.
It's fucked up, man.
So I'm saying, if I have a daughter, man, I'm scared, man. I hope my daughter is the ugliest thing ever, and only daddy finds her beautiful. I'm praying, dude. Like she comes out, she got like this fucking weird tooth coming out here, one eye smaller than the other. Yeah, she's like, Daddy, am I ugly? Daddy thinks you're beautiful, but let me tell you, nobody ever wanted to touch you growing up. So.
Right here. We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Pound it.
We're good. She's just sitting there angry at me.
She uses her face to pound it. Like, relax. Oh my God. Have you ever had a moment growing up where you were like, am I gay?
You know, I think that moment only happened because people were fucking around with the concept.
I'm glad that you actually have had one, because I've had one for sure, but I want to hear yours.
I don't know if it's because I thought I was gay. I think it's because as a kid, you're gay, and that word, it didn't really have that definitive meaning of like, because I feel like when we use that word, you're gay, it was just as an insult. It had nothing to do with sexuality, right?
Yeah.
But I think when people started joking around with it a lot, they're like, "Oh, you could probably be gay." And
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, can that happen? Like, can I be gay?
Yeah.
Does that work that way?
Right.
And I feel like a lot of boys felt that shit.
Oh, for sure. Bro, I have this theory that every guy has had a am I gay
Am I gay moment?
Every guy, for sure. Especially gays. I mean, that's where they were like, oh yeah, I'm for sure gay.
It's like a moment where you chill with your homie and you guys are having such a good fucking time. You look over at him, it's like, hey man, why can't my girl just be like you? It's like, yeah, why can't my girl be just like you? And then you guys lock eyes weird and you're like, hey man, titties and pussy, right?
Right. Yeah, bro. I've had those moments, bro, where it's like, cause also like in school I wasn't a jock, I wasn't super athletic. I boxed, but I was really into dancing. I was into arts and crafts. I was into crocheting. Like my dad walked in on me crocheting, and my dad was like, "Oh,
you might be gay, dude."
My dad, yeah, real talk.
Your dad came in and was like, "Boy, I taught you boxing."
My dad was like,
making me a fucking beanie.
Why I thought you'd be walking in on you like jacking off.
Yeah,
but you're crocheting. You know,
start jacking off immediately. I'm gonna close this damn door, and I want to hear some thumping.
I bet. Yeah, bro. And so that was the thing. I was like, I don't feel as masculine. So I was like, damn, am I gay? I've had those moments for sure.
Yeah, I think that's more of a lot of kids or guys feel like they might be homosexual, not because of their actual sexual attraction towards another male.
Yeah.
Is because a lot of people put masculinity on things that aren't really masculine or feminine, right?
Yeah.
For example, crocheting, like making shit. Why is that considered quote unquote gay or feminine?
Yeah, right.
You're just making shit.
Right.
Even for me, I didn't join choir for the longest time because I was scared.
Bro, yes. In elementary school, I thought choir was only for girls.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
That was it. And my brother was like, dude, you don't join choir. Because I wanted to do choir because I wanted to learn how to sing. Yeah. I never did because I thought it was something girls did. Only girls. That's
what I'm saying. So there's just a lot of, and things are changing a lot now.
Yeah.
But for sure, there was just a lot of things that were put as only guys do this, only girls do this.
Yeah.
For example, this is a great example. I didn't use lotion because I thought that shit was for pussies. I was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, motherfucker, you use lotion, you fucking pussy, bet you can't throw a fist. What the fuck does dry skin got to do with you being a man or a woman, right?
Right. Yeah.
So a lot of dudes, they don't do skincare shit. They don't use lotion on their face and all that other stuff. And I didn't use it for the longest time until Mariel, my fiance, told me my skin was trash. I was like, what you talking about? My skin's fine. She's like, no, it's dry as hell. I was like, what you talking about? And then as I'm speaking, like flakes are coming off my face and shit. But I didn't know this type of stuff about skincare. Yeah. And my skin was terrible because something in the back of my mind told me that skincare is for a bunch of pansies and wusses.
Yeah.
So you don't do that type of shit.
Right.
Really, you're just moisturizing your fucking skin.
Right.
Doesn't make any sense, but all that stuff as a kid affects you as an adult.
Right.
So all that, pro man shit that I thought that only guys should do or only girls should do, those type of activities, I just never touched.
Right.
And eventually, like with the whole choir thing, I was like, yo, I'm gonna fucking join choir and I'm gonna sing and I'm gonna do it publicly and I'm gonna see what's gonna happen. Like, who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
And which doesn't make any sense because my favorite singers were fucking male singers.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, you got Michael Jackson, Usher, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber. And they all got mad bitches. Yeah. So I'm like, what you mean this is gay? Like, I could have been that. Yeah. That was my first concert I ever went to was Usher, 8701. It was my first concert ever. And I knew at that moment, I want to be an entertainer. That's where I found out. I want to be an entertainer because there was one guy on the stage. We're in a whole stadium. Yeah. And people were just roaring for this one guy. And I was like, that's just so badass. He was dancing. It was so fucking cool. So I was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. But singing, I was like, I can't sing, so maybe I'll just be.
Hey man, who knows? If they didn't crush your dreams, you could have been the next Usher,
bro.
Is that why you danced then?
Don't tell me that. Yes, yeah, real talk. That's why
I can't sing. These bitches gonna know.
Yeah, I was dancing all through high school, but not singing. But that's what I was performing in talent shows, dancing. I was, and that's what I was known for before even comedy. I was known for dancing. And then, yeah. So, but that was my thing. I was like, all right, I'm a take singing lessons later, like in life, but I'm gonna get the dancing down, right? I got into acting, so I was like, okay, I got the acting down. I wanted to be a triple threat so bad.
This podcast is brought to you by Purple, baby. I love my Purple mattress. I've been sleeping on it so well, and ever since I've had it, I've had the best nights of sleeps my whole life. This mattress is firm and soft at the same time. It keeps me nice and cool. And on top of that, my friends, it was developed with some rocket science behind it. The Purple mattress is by far the best mattress I've ever slept on. And I'm not just saying that. I have insomnia and I have back problems, and this mattress has helped both of those ailments out a lot for me personally. So if you're sleeping on a rock and you're sleeping on a super hard bed, then my friends, you need to get yourself a Purple mattress. Now, you're going to love Purple, and right now my listeners will get a free Purple pillow with the purchase of a mattress. That's in addition to the great free gifts they're offering site-wide. Just text BRAIN to 84-888. The only way to get this free pillow is to text BRAIN to 84-888. That's BRAIN to 84888. Message and data rates may apply.
You know, I wanted to just be like a Jamie Foxx.
Yeah,
Jamie Foxx. You know,
dancing was the shit, though. I think honestly, out of all the talents, in terms of getting women to be attracted to you, the dancers always had it the best. They would always get the most women.
The only thing with me with dancers, but this is what kind of threw me off, because I was like, everybody was like, "Oh, dang, that's gonna be cool. Like, you'll be like Chris Brown's backup dancers, you'll be Usher's backup dancers," and I saw that as like, I'm gonna be a background dancer.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I was like, nobody pays attention to the background. Now I know now, like there's a lot of famous dancers that you want to see that are with Beyonce, like the Les Twins. Like you're watching them because you're fans of them, and of course they're on with Beyonce. But I was always like, you're just watching the main entertainer. You're not watching the dancers. Yeah. So that also kind of discouraged me away from wanting to be a dancer, because I was like, you're not going to be the main show. You know? Now, I mean, of course, that's, me being ignorant, because I know there's a ton of successful dancers that are.
But, dancing wasn't as lucrative as it is now. Mm-hmm. Right. So dancing was such a big passion. It's a huge performance art. Yeah. And mind you, even a lot of these great backup dancers, just from what I've heard, there's a few small select amount of people that get paid a lot to choreograph and dance and everything else, but everybody else relatively, they don't, for the amount of work that they do, they don't get paid that well, unless you're like twins, right? For them, because they have a name, they can negotiate their prices a lot more, because they're also
Jabberwockies, like
exactly. Yeah. So prior to the whole social media thing and people really putting like dancing on the map like that, it wasn't it wasn't a lucrative business. I mean, people would open up their own studios and stuff, but that was based on a small group of people who wanted to learn how to dance. Right. Because prior to the whole, what's it called? Not America, like ABDC, America's Best Dance Crew, right? Right. How many, I knew about a few boutique hip hop studios, right? Or you would join like a small dance troupe, and then you will learn how to dance there. Right. But there wouldn't be these hardcore intensive hip hop classes where you learn how to dance from these great choreographers. Right. It wasn't really but now you have stuff like Movement Lifestyle where everybody wants to go there. Right. And they get some of the best fucking hip hop choreographers around the world just to train people in these classes, which is amazing. Yeah, bro. Because you probably had to learn that. Did you learn how to dance on your own? Yeah. That's how most people did it.
You got served. Yeah, they had special features where they did little at the end. If you had the DVD, they had like you could learn a couple like choreographies. That they had the main choreographer that taught Omarion and all them dance. Yeah, I watched that like over and over. And then when U2 came out, I was watching all the Omarion videos, Chris Brown videos, and just
that fucking movie made everybody want to dance.
Yeah.
Even me, I knew I couldn't dance, but motherfucker, you best believe I'd be somebody that'll toss somebody to do a backflip. I'm like, motherfucker, you gonna jump at me. Right. I ain't gonna dance. Right. But I'm gonna toss your bitch ass like a coin, and I'm gonna get the glory because I threw you.
Yeah, bro. That was the thing, bro. Trying to serve people.
Yep.
Serve. serve,
Yeah.
serve, doing it for Lil Saint. Hell yeah, bro.
That movie was fucking dope, though,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
I still think it's one of those. It's probably one of the best dance movies out there, man. In terms of like hip hop,
Acting's trash.
Oh, who the fuck cares about that though? Just
I
more
didn't.
dance.
I had no idea that the acting was trash until like I watched it now. I had no idea that it was like, what is this?
Have you seen Karate Kid?
Yeah. Oh, the like, haven't seen that like recently?
Recently, the original one.
Nuh-uh.
The worst acting you'll ever
Really?
see in your life. There's some funny ass scenes in that film because was it Pat Morimoto? Alexa,
Miss Miyagi.
Mr. Miyagi,
Yeah.
right? So Mr. Miyagi.
I don't know his real name.
Yeah, I think it's Pat Morimoto or something. But shout out. I think
I hate that I don't know it, but
Hey man, Mr. Miyagi, man.
Mr. Miyagi.
So, Mr. Miyagi, there's a scene where he's fighting like in this Japanese garden type of area, but they clearly have these stunt doubles that are switching out from him, right? But it's too apparent. It's like the scene switches and the dude's like 4 inches taller than him and he looks way younger. And then it
Really?
switches out that it's Pat Morimoto again.
yeah.
The movie's pretty bad. And the
Oh,
actor,
wow.
it's bad, dude. You should watch it. It's
I
pretty
don't know if I
fucking
want to. I think it's gonna hurt me.
Yo.
I've always thought that it was Mr. Miyagi, just straight up
Nah,
kicking
man,
ass.
it's a stunt double.
Wow.
And so, well, as a kid, we think it's so amazing, and then
Yeah.
as an adult, when I watched it, I was like, "Yo, this movie's pretty bad. The acting's pretty bad too."
Yeah.
The guy who played Daniel LaRusso, so fucking stiff.
Mm.
Would have never thought. And it's such a weird concept because that film is about an Italian kid that does karate better than everybody else, and
Yeah.
everybody in that karate competition is fucking white.
yeah. I don't know why I put any of these things like together.
It's like this shit don't make sense.
Yeah.
like
I mean,
Cobra
that's
Kai-
like Scarface being played by Al Pacino.
What is Al Pacino?
He's
He's Italian.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Scarface was fucking wild though.
Yeah, but it was like there was no famous Latin actor to play.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So now you have Scarface, Al Pacino, which he did pretty good, but you know.
I thought it was weird when Will Smith did that one film where he was supposed to play that football coach that was supposed to be an African football coach.
Oh yeah, no, he was the concussion. You're talking
Concussion,
about,
right?
Yeah, he was a doctor. He was a doctor.
Oh, he's a doctor. Yeah,
Yeah.
he had the. I didn't see the film, but I saw the trailer. I was like, that is
Trailer, I
the
was
worst accent I've ever heard in my life. He was like,
Yeah.
I want the truth.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, Will Smith, I know you're a great actor, but truth. I want the truth.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking hell. Did you see that film?
No.
I couldn't
But,
watch it, man.
Yeah, I love Will though, man. So I hate. Like,
He does social media better than we do, bro.
bro, this dude came on social media and just like now it's how can you be second best because
Yeah.
Will's just at the top.
Well, he got money too.
He has money, he has a production, he has a team, but the thing is that he's so like he figured it out, and that's why he's been out for so long because I'm pretty sure he probably studied it.
Yeah.
It's just, you could tell, like, he knows exactly the timing of how social media works, how content works on social media. Like, he's not putting up little mini short movies. He's actually making some
Legit content.
You know what I mean?
He's such a charismatic guy.
yeah,
I mean,
and he's tagging all these people, getting them numbers. Like, he understands the way it works is like making sure that they get exposure, like these up and coming editors and
Yeah.
these effect graphic designers and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, I'll put you on. Like, just make my shit look dope.
fucking
And just tag
Will
him.
Smith, man. He definitely does shit on some next level stuff.
Yeah.
Like, how does he come on this space that we're supposed to be really good at?
Yeah.
And he just destroys everyone.
Yeah.
That guy is so fucking unique.
Yeah,
man.
and still looks the same. Like, because you see the times where he doesn't have the black shit in his hair and his goatee, where he's all like, it's all like peppery. You know what I mean? But he puts that on. He looks just like Men in Black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's right.
it's crazy how young he still looks. Like, you forget that he's 51.
He's 51 now?
Yeah. His 50, his thing, like that whole jumping out the helicopter was last year.
That was his 50 year
His
so-
50th, celebration, jumping out of a helicopter.
Damn, that's crazy.
And
man.
he's still doing dope shit, bro.
I fucking love that guy. Like, I think Fresh Prince was one of those shows that really molded a lot of people's number one comedy.
Yeah.
And just their whole childhood and how they saw
Childhood.
themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
It was such a cool show to fucking watch, man.
Yeah, for sure.
He wasn't even supposed to be casted for that show, I heard originally.
Really?
I forgot who else it was supposed to be, but it's somebody really famous that we should know of. But they passed it up, and then Will Smith auditioned for the role and then he got it, and it changed his whole fucking career. And at the time, I heard he was going bankrupt because he just blew all his money.
Oh yeah, the tax thing.
Yeah, he blew all his money, didn't think about taxes, and he was fucking going bankrupt or some shit.
Yeah, and he never paid any of his taxes. That's what it was.
That's just fucking crazy.
He didn't pay any of his taxes, and then the IRS basically like seized all his stuff and like just went to zero everything.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. A
lot of these celebrities have some weird stories, man, growing up. And I feel for him too. Like, I wonder what his trajectory is like, because I heard that I think he said that he works every day as if he doesn't have a single fucking cent in his bank account, which is how he keeps motivated constantly.
Yeah.
Which I can understand that too, because no matter what position I am in life, I think I'm always going to work hard, because, you know, when you don't come from anything, I think that's always like in the back of your mind. It's like, shit. I remember a time where when I went out to eat, I wouldn't even look at the food. I'm like, I look at the number. I'm like, okay, what's the number?
Yeah.
So I could afford water, a slice of lemon.
Oh yeah. I was that guy too. When I was opening up menus, I was looking on the right side of everything. I wasn't looking at letters. I was looking at numbers.
Exactly. It was like, okay, if it has an extra number on it, we gonna pass that.
Yeah. And I hated when they didn't have the dotted line to guide you all the way to that number, because I'm like, is this macaroni $53? Oh, it's a steak. Okay. Jesus. I'm like trying to match them like, for sure.
I used to do this shit when I was in high school, Taco Tuesdays and shit. But they had it for a Del Taco. And it was like 3 tacos for $1. And I remember that was my favorite day of the week. I'm like, I'm going to eat fucking good today.
Yeah.
I'm going to get 6 tacos, motherfucker, for $2. And I was hyped as hell.
Right.
But now it's a very weird thing where I talked about it on a previous podcast, where it was just kind of looking back at all the things that you have now and being grateful for the things that you do have.
Right.
Because it's very easy to kind of get caught up in your own bullshit.
Yeah.
Because you forget where you were before.
Right.
And then you look at your current state and then you say, I think that I deserve more.
Right.
Which is okay. And I think you could use that as motivation.
Yeah.
But losing that perspective is where people get fucked up a lot.
Yeah. Because you're looking on, especially if you're on social media, you're looking at so many things that you could also be doing. Like, you see everybody else's lives and you're like, oh, even first with women, I didn't know that there were so when I was in high school, it was just whoever was hot in high school. You know, and then it was like the hot celebrities like Jennifer Lopez or Halle Berry. But then that was it. Now I'm on social media and I could see a fine bitch every scroll. There's an Instagram model that right there is a title already, an Instagram model. Not just a regular model, not an actual paid model that's, on magazines and doing print and doing all these. No, you're an Instagram model. And that's actually like credited, because you get content deals. Like, I'm not giving them. I give them all the credit. I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There are some that are like, what is it? Thirst traps, stuff like that. Whatever. There are IG models that really making money out here.
I just ain't trying to hear. I'm not gonna name any names, but there was a certain Instagram model that I knew, and for her, I kind of lost a lot of respect for her. And sometimes people get it twisted when they say, oh, that person's really sweet. It doesn't mean I got to respect you just because you're a nice person. I don't give a fuck. I could not respect a nice person all day. What the fuck does that got to do with anything? But, I get tired of people who just... I don't like it when people say, I'm working hard all the time. I'm hustling. I'm grinding. And it's like, I know you. Like, I know what your version of working hard and grinding is, and it's not. You're not doing anything at all. You have a shit ton of time during the day. Yeah. It's annoying to you right now, and it seems like hard work because it's been very repetitious. You're doing the same thing over and over. But in the grand scheme of things of what you do, you're not really doing much. I'm not saying this is for all Instagram models, because I know a lot of them are trying to act, they're hustling, they're getting their shit going on, right? Yeah. And it's hard to maintain an aesthetic on Instagram consistently and be, work on that shit.
There's some fine ass waiters that work at Chili's that you find out that they're an Instagram model, but they got to get their hustle and they got to get their bills paid, so they got to work at Chili's. You know what I mean?
So when I this girl too, like, I knew she would get like 30 grand deals just for showing her ass, and she was just like, oh man, it was such a hard day. I'm like, bitch, you hired a photographer. He took a few snaps. It took 2 hours out your day, and then you say you're exhausted. Yeah. I'm like, I don't think you remember where you were before in life. Yeah. You were just the pretty girl around the block. Right. But somehow you got lucky enough where somebody found you way more attractive than the other girl with the fat ass. And now this is what you're banking on. Yeah. And if you don't have that state of gratitude, you're not going to really be able to really see where you're at in life. Right. My thing is, you're showing your butt and you're making money. That's fucking dope.
Yeah, you should be able to be aware enough to be like, oh, this is actually easy money. I'm doing.
Yeah, compared to what you could be doing.
Yeah.
You know, like the work is work. I get that 100%.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I try not to complain about my shit. You know, people ask, oh, you got these fucking food concepts. You're doing this. You're you know, doing Sem Foods. You're doing the podcast. You're doing that. And they're like, man, you must be exhausted. I like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So am I exhausted? I do get tired and exhausted, but I'm not going to complain about that exhaustion.
Right.
Because, and I have before, but I had to snap myself out of it. It's like, dog, what could you be doing right now if you weren't doing this?
Right.
What could you be doing? Like, I would probably be miserable.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, I'd be doing stand-up or something. But it's that perspective that really kind of helps me just lock where I am in place.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes when, like I said, if I know what you're doing on an everyday basis, and then you're complaining to me about how tired you are when you got like 30 grand just to put up one photo,
right?
Life is good.
Yeah, man.
Life is fucking good, dude.
Yeah, I've actually just came to this realization with myself because, like, my girl, she works at a she's a vet tech, so she works at a pet hospital, right? And so you said who?
I said that's dope.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was like, her name is Michaela. I thought you like who? Michaela?
I was like, who? You got a lady? The fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, she's very hands on with her work. You know, she's always standing up. You know, they're not really sitting down. They're always standing, working, picking up big animals. So she's really like hands on and physical work. And my work is, you know, I'm working from home. I'm editing, or I'm doing a graphic design, or I'm screen printing, or making content like a voiceover, stuff like that. But it's hard to translate that into like, oh, you're really doing hard work. You know what I mean? Because you have somebody who is, you know, working with animals, dealing with big dogs or feisty dogs and all these things where like you really are physically tired. But you could also be mentally tired when standing in front of the computer, you know, editing all night and you're just like, or all day.
Like even yesterday too, I had to work on this brand deal and I had to write a script out.
Yeah.
That shit fucking took all day.
Yeah.
You know, because I had to go through the lines going back and forth. And that's why sometimes when some people say, oh, I wish I could do what you're doing, or your life must be great.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of a fucked perspective too, is because just because I'm good at what I do, it doesn't mean that I could do what you do.
Right.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Right? It's such a weird thing for people to say. I don't think that you should be envious of other people's career. You should, if there's anything to be envious about, is kind of what somebody else gets from the career that they're in. Right? So you should be envious of somebody who's in a career that enjoys what they're doing, because that's really the goal. Right? Because yeah, I guess it would be great if I was a doctor. I mean, in terms of what it means socially, like status wise, and the money. But then doesn't mean I can do it. It's not something that's in my lane. Right. So I'm more envious of people who are happy doing what they're doing. It doesn't have anything to do with fame or money. It has everything to do with the state that they're in when they're doing their job. Right. And that's what I'm envious of. Right. Because when I see people, even like when I go to Hawaii, that's why I love fucking Hawaii, man. There's people who just work regular jobs, and if you ask them, would you leave this island to go maybe to the mainland and then work on something bigger? They go, why? Like, I like it out here, man. See my family, my friends. I work these jobs where I love being around these people. I live in my place and I'm good. I'm happy. It's just such a weird perspective. And I think specifically we're in entertainment and we live in LA. So that becomes the center point to what success is for everybody. Recognition. If you're not being recognized, then, what are you doing? That's why when we're on Sem Foods, we do this reoccurring joke that, Tim's famous too. It's a fucking joke, right? But people feel bad. They're like, you should be recognized too. It's like, it's a fucking joke. Why do you care so much whether I don't give a fuck. Let me tell you something right now. If I found a bag outside my door with $2 million, motherfucker, this podcast is shutting down. No, I'm kidding. No, I still do what I'm doing now. I still do what I'm doing now because I enjoy it. Whether people want to recognize me for it or not, it's great to be a part of something that I enjoy. And it's like recognition is not a motivating factor for me. As long as I'm creating something that I'm proud of every day, it's great. Like even the film Gook, nobody really recognizes me for that film per se, but it fulfilled the checklist that I wanted to do, right? I wanted to create a film. I wanted to go into Sundance. That people are like, you must have made a lot of money off that shit. I made $0.
Wow.
I made $0 off that shit. Because it was a black and white film. It was an art film. It was a very art house film. It wasn't going to make a lot of money. I didn't make shit off that. Right? So, it's just perspective is a huge thing for people. And I think that's where people would really focus on is like, if you look at somebody else and you wish that you had their career, I think that's already fucked up.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I also take a lot of things for granted because I find myself like my work ethic definitely needs work, because a lot from the perspective what you're talking about, a lot of people will see me and be like, oh man, so, like, Chris, you're really doing your thing. You're moving, your numbers are going up on IG, and like you're I could tell that you're grinding, it's showing, right? But really, if I'm being completely honest with myself, I'm just getting by. Yeah. Because I've literally from, elementary school to making the volcano projects in science class, I always knew that my project was going to be the shit. No matter when, like if it was due by Friday, I was doing it Thursday night, but I knew I was still going to shit on everybody's thing because I just knew that I was the shit. I just had that mentality. And it was like, I still my volcano had little mini trees around it, and I painted, put shadows and actual different color grays on it. And like, I really went in on it. And they're like, I'm just in elementary school. So, but I always sat on that of like, oh, I'm good enough to where I'm gonna be good. And I've done that with my comedy. Like I just had a writing session last night with one of my homies, and he told me that he was like, bro, you're funny, but you're just funny enough. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you get by, you can have a great set and your set went well, but I see that your set is, it's not punched the way that it could be punched. Like be like put all these tags and jokes in within it. You're just getting these laughs, and then to where when you get off stage, people are still coming to you saying, "Man, I really enjoyed your set." But it could really be like, "Oh my God, you had me crying, and my stomach is like I have cramps." Like I was really cracking up. So that's my thing that I'm trying to work on is like I gotta actually instead of just relying on my talent, actually put some fucking work in. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of people like that. Even I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, and there's a female comic named Nikki Glacier.
Oh, yeah.
And she was talking about how she doesn't really kind of put her all into her stand-up, right? Meaning that because she goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because what I'm doing is great, and I'm still killing it, right? But then I think like Joe was telling her, it's like, yo, but could you imagine how great you would be if you really took the time to develop that shit? Yeah. And it's true though. But like I'm saying, it depends on what you want to get out of this thing, right? I think that if you want to be a top tier stand-up comic, then you definitely got to put that work in, because I don't know too many top tier comics that don't do that. Right. Because even like Nikki Glacier, Glazier, I think I'm mispronouncing her name.
Nikki Glacier.
Okay, Nikki Glacier, right? Yeah. She's probably one of those top female comics, right? But who knows? She might even be the biggest female comic out there if she did that. I mean, she wouldn't know, right? Unless she really tried that way. Not that I'm giving her fucking advice, but that's what Joe Rogan was saying. Yeah. So, and I agree with that too, because I think after a while too, when you start doing stuff half-assed and you just kind of get stale. And then you'll be at a point later on, 10 years from now, you're just like, oh, fuck, I wish I would put more work in. Yeah. And that's the part that scares me a little
bit. Right. That's why I had to just come to terms with it, and just because I start seeing people who, in my opinion, aren't that funny, but they're in my class and they're passing me up as far as credits go, or the stages that they're hitting. And I'm like, well, they put the work in. You know what I mean? And I'm always just like, I'm gonna fucking kill it. Like by the time when my opportunity comes, because there's also that too, which also it's kind of fucked up, because people say, don't rush into things, or when it's your time, it's your time. But that don't mean be lazy. That don't mean sit and wait for that time to happen. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's supposed to just continue to stay working, stay committed, and when that time comes, you'll be ready because you've been putting in the work.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's just my deal that I've been having to work on. I've talked to my cousin about, my people about, I got to get on my shit, because I've been sitting on my talent for too long.
That's why that's what I like about Kev. Kev's always working hard, man. Kev's one of those dudes. Yeah. He's one of those guys that when I talk to, I'm like, man, I ain't shit. Yeah. You can see how hard he works and how much he enjoys what he's doing and how grateful he is. Yeah. And I think that is the biggest part in my life that I was missing for the past few years. But just talking to him a couple times, I'm like, damn, man, this guy really enjoys what he's doing. Yeah. And because of that, he worked so hard. I mean, when do you
Kev
see
on stage, to be clear.
Yeah, Kev on stage, man. Everybody knew who fucking Kev on stage is. And it was so weird because he was like
confused with Kevin Hart. So
oh yeah, well Kevin Hart, prayers to his back because I heard that shit broke as fuck. I heard like he hasn't even been on social media for a minute, man.
Yeah, man.
He must be really fucking hurt.
Yeah,
dude.
man. And I really do hope everything was cool. The story is a little weird, but I hope everything.
Said his friend was driving the car and shit.
His friend was driving, but him like him going to the house immediately, like he got sent to the house like 20 minutes before even the cops came and all these things. Like they took him out and took him home. So I was like, why'd they do that? Why, like, especially because you could have gotten paralyzed if you moved the wrong way, whatever.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Trying to move him out, you're done for the neck down. So that was just like that's why I was like, man, I hope of course everything's gonna be okay, whatever. But those type of situations, it's like, what's going on?
I feel like for him, he's just so on top of the world. He got to do crazy shit to feel something. You know what I mean? Because that's why I heard that's why celebrity dudes, like, even though they're heterosexual, they just start fucking anything.
I've heard those stories.
Yeah, I always hear that story.
I've heard those stories. Don't go to this certain, like, when you go to this certain person's house or party, whatever, don't stay too late. Like, all that. I've heard
weird.
those. Yeah.
Yeah, they go,
Yeah.
they get so much pussy that they just got to try anything at that point. They try, first of all, they go from pussy to butthole, that it's like, I wonder what that guy's asshole feels like.
Yeah.
And you just kind of get this weird, I've heard that story so many times with people. I don't know what the fuck, it has to be true.
Yeah.
Because I keep hearing it over and over.
Right.
I don't want to spread rumors about celebrities, but there's some big name celebrities where I keep hearing it over and over.
I want to hear the ones you heard off air.
Yeah, we'll talk about it off air.
Yeah, because I've heard those stories too, and I'm just like,
and I keep hearing it from multiple people. So it's just like, this is weird.
Yeah.
And it's like different situations, but same person. And it's personal stories. So I'm like, what the fuck? It has to be real at this point.
And I feel like that at that moment, they probably had those thoughts when they were younger of like, am I gay? But now that they're rich enough, they're like, fuck it.
That was when I'm not gay. It's like, am I God? Yeah. I was like, God would do whatever he wants.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
Very true.
Wow. Got deep.
All right, y'all. Well, that wraps this episode of the Genius Brain Podcast, where we talk about butt fucking and touching. Yeah. I don't even think I completed my thought about the females in my life that got like touched when they were younger, but that shit's fucked up. So, but I do.
Oh, no, you had a pretty solid section in there.
Okay, thank God. What I wanted to say about that was that basically, like, I understand now that I've heard these stories multiple times what women mean by about rape culture. It's not that men think that it's okay. It's just one of those things where it's, if they don't think it's okay, why has it happened to so many women at a certain age? And if it's like not every guy out there, and for me, I know a lot of people, and I say about 40% of these girls have been touched when they were younger. Yeah. It says something about our society that's a little fucked.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. And then you have the other very fucked up part where all a girl has to say is, I got touched. Yeah. And that guy's career is done.
Man, I could get into a whole story about, I'll just tell the story. Okay. But I knew somebody in high school. She wasn't somebody that I fucking knew per se, not my friend, but she tried calling the cops on a buddy of mine. Let's not even call him a buddy of mine. He's kind of hot trash too. Okay. This is my past. Okay. But basically she said that she was raped by him, right? Yeah. Was not. Yeah. Was not. And it was because they broke up, and it was a situation where they broke up and she didn't like like, you're jealous about the girl that the new girl that he's with. Yeah. And there was this whole fucking ordeal. It's like, oh, he raped me, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Long story short, that girl made up this whole fucking lie. That dude was a thug. He fucking killed this dude. Like, straight up, like executioner style, with a bunch of his thug ass homies. He went to jail. And so did the other girl who told him about the whole raping situation that happened.
He killed the guy that was accused of rape?
Yeah.
Raping? Wow. He didn't even do anything.
He didn't even touch her, right? Wow. And the reason why I say he's not my friend, I don't really know him like that. It's kind of weird to call the dude my friend, but we kind of hung around in the same circle.
Yeah, I got you.
But yeah, that dude, and I'd be a lot more sad if he was like a really close friend of mine. Yeah. But, sad enough, he got murdered.
It's you, isn't it?
No, are you crazy, dude? I'm scared of guns. I got hella guns in my house.
I'm no, I'm scared of guns too, bro. I'm a bitch.
Yeah,
those,
he got killed, and she went to jail along with everybody else that was a part of it because of a lie.
Yeah.
Right? Because you said she got raped.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure most girls don't do that shit. But there is that.
It's fucked.
One fucking maniac that ruins it for the rest of the girls because of some shit like that.
Yeah, man.
And we've done a bunch of articles on JK News where that has happened, where they ruin it for other women who are actually going through this shit.
Yeah.
Because they're fucking insane.
Yeah, they're insane. They're jealous, envious, or they want money.
That's why that Cosby shit. Well, nobody would believe that Cosby would do that stuff. Right? Because it's like, oh, this girl's making up the fucking story. But once Witness 672 came out, it's like then people were like, oh, maybe there might be something to this. Because I was one of those too. Because when the whole Bill Cosby situation came out, because Bill Cosby was one of my biggest influences. Maybe not so much as stand up, but the show, the Cosby Show.
Okay.
And so when it came out, I was like, Bill Cosby didn't touch anybody.
Yeah.
Then I started hearing stories about everything he's done, personal stories from people, and I'm like, this is definitely true.
Yeah.
Because not everybody's story can be fabricated that much with that many people.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to say. Yep.
Proof's in the proof's in the pudding.
I heard when he went to jail, though, some of the inmates threw fucking Jello pudding at him.
Did they really?
Yeah, fucking hilarious. He's blind now. I'm so sorry. But anyways, guys, that wraps this episode of the Genius Brain Podcast. You can catch us on Spotify, Stitcher, all those audio podcasts, iTunes, and all that. Make sure you give us a 5-star, and we'll catch y'all next time. Oh, Cristino or Chris. I like to call him Cristino.
No, that's cool, bro. There's not a lot of people that call me that, so you got it.
Tight.
Go for it.
Plug in your shit.
All right, so y'all can find me on Instagram or all platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at Cristino Sosa, Cristino Sosa, like Sammy.
Plug your podcast, too.
And my podcast is Keeping It Trill. You feel me? And that's on iTunes and Spotify. And we're going to get it back on YouTube. Again, we're figuring out the footage things and stuff like that. So, but yeah.
Cool.
Keeping it trill.
All right, y'all. See y'all next time.
Sass.
Peace.